Guys, here's pretty much the last parts of the verb that we are going to go over in here. All right, we're going to talk about two tenses. The first one is called the perfect tense. The perfect tense, both of them start in the past, but with the present it ends in the present, and with the past it goes farther back in the past. In fact, the definition of the past perfect is the past of the past. It's kind of like a flashback. The present perfect starts in the past and ends now. Okay? Now, the way to write the perfect tense is using the form of have. Now, if you look over here at our sentence chart, our time chart, you have the present perfect. The present perfect is the present form of have. It's either have or has with the ed form of the verb. In this case, it starts in the past and it ends now. And the example is, I have walked 10 miles. What that means is, I walked 10 miles and I just finished. That is what it means. I started it in the past 10 miles ago and I finished now. Now, the past perfect is the past tense of have, which is had plus ed, like had walked. It starts in the past and it is the only tense that goes farther back in time. Okay, an example would be if you were to say, I walked 10 miles from school, and then your parents sit there, and you all know how they do it. They sit there and they go, that's nothing. I had walked 10 miles in a blizzard, both ways, uphill, in a full body cast. See how they went farther back in time on you, and then they added a little extra good stuff to it? Okay, that is basically what your past perfect tense is. All right? So that is the perfect tense. Any form of have plus ed. Okay? Have or has plus ed, present perfect. Had plus ed, past perfect. Now, I know you're looking at that one going, the present perfect progressive. What the heck? Well, let's look at it, guys. The present perfect progressive tense. The perfect progressive tense, man, killing myself today. Guys, they have no determined ending point. It's kind of like a continuation. The past perfect progressive tense starts in the past and then it continues on. Kind of like, if someone's waiting for you and then something else continues on from there. Okay? The present perfect progressive tense starts now and the ending is not in the foreseeable future. It's kind of continuing on. Now, the way to write the perfect progressive tense is using the perfect and the progressive tense together. Go figure. The sentence I have is, she has been watching television. Now, guys, do I have the perfect tense there? Yes, I do. I have plus ed. In this case, it's has and the ed form of be, which is been. So has plus the ed gives me the perfect tense. Do I have the progressive tense? Yes, be plus ing, be watching. So therefore, has been watching is the perfect tense. Now, this one would be present tense, and guys, just like with the regular progressive or the regular perfect, the first verb tells us whether it is present or past. Has is present tense. Therefore, this would be a present perfect progressive sentence. She has been watching television, which means she's probably going to continue on. Okay, so always remember the first verb tells if it is present or past. Now let's go back to this timeline, guys, and also let's look at how you would write it again, just so you know. The present perfect progressive is have or has plus be, which is been, plus the ing, and it starts now and continues, and it says, I have been walking for hours. Now, that means that that person is continuing to walk. There is a continuation. She hasn't said, or he hasn't said, I'm going to end soon. Just says, I've been walking for hours. Now, the past perfect progressive tense is had plus be, been. So it's had been plus the ing form. It starts in the past and continues. I had been walking for hours. It just sounds like there's going to be a continuation. And I only have 3 more to go, but I decided to take a break before I continue. Whatever it is, there's something that is going to be continuing on. And that is what the past perfect progressive tense does. And again, you see how it's been written. Now, if we look at our timeline, guys, we've added a lot onto it, haven't we? You have the present tense, the past tense, right? We went over that. And blue, you have the present progressive and the past progressive, right? And now in the green, you see the present perfect, which is right there by present. I'll move it forward. And you have what? It starts, point A starts in the past, and point B ended now. And if you look at the past perfect, it started in the past and went farther back in time. It is the past of the past. And now you see your perfect progressive tense. Notice there is no point B. The arrow continues on. The past perfect progressive started in the past and has moved forward into the present and is continuing on. The present perfect progressive is continuing on still from now. And those are the, 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tenses. Look at the bottom, guys. Last one, the future. It uses what is called a modal auxiliary verb. The modal auxiliary verb tells us about the future. Now, moving back over here, this is the last part of our lecture, guys. Modal auxiliaries are used for the future tense. There are 10 main modal auxiliaries. Will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought. Now, you can look at these as more of a, you're kind of strong and weak, more definite and probably. I will go to the party. That's kind of definite. A little indefinite. I would go to the party. I shall go to the party.